So what is World Mobile? World Mobile is a telecom company or a mobile network operator that seeks to connect the 3 billion unconnected people on the planet. They plan to do this by using blockchain technology and something called the sharing economy, incentivizing each player in the economy to do their part. We're going to talk about how this works, and they have some terminology that I'm going to try to translate into English for you. They do this by using Aether nodes, air nodes, and earth nodes. So first, you do have to connect to the existing traditional legacy infrastructure, which is generally in Africa or along the coast. But it's just not worth, with traditional telecom structures, it's not worth the additional infrastructure to bring it inward throughout the country. So we're going to tap into that by using an Aether node. An Aether node, we have the least amount of technology or information about the Aether nodes and how they're going to play a part in the sharing economy. But for now, we'll just say that this node takes care of entering a country, doing all the regulatory paperwork, seeing what spectrum is available, and then tapping into that spectrum. Their World Mobile is looking at ways to decentralize this to where Aether node operators can own essentially the right to connect into that infrastructure and operate that. So, but as far as that's going to be the most centralized node that we're going to talk about. And all you really need to know for the purposes of this video is that those connect to the existing legacy infrastructure system. Another thing worth mentioning here is Starlink is I put Starlink in that legacy infrastructure. They are in partnership with World Mobile as a backhaul provider. And so the signal that they cast isn't strong enough for like streaming and things like that. It's only meant for calls and text, but their strength is they can do it anywhere, right? That's the whole point, is to have some kind of connectivity on the entire planet. That's what Starlink's going for. Well, World Mobile can take that signal and connect it to an air node and broadcast through an air node a Wi-Fi type signal, which is good for text, calls, streaming, e-commerce, all that type of stuff. So essentially from the Aether node, it goes to an air node. And the air node broadcasts this signal to their local community. There are these things called aerostats. So aerostats, air nodes, think of just kind of like a Wi-Fi router, like in your house. The signal comes into the Wi-Fi router, and then throughout your entire house, you automatically connect to it and have a Wi-Fi connection to stream content. Good for streaming, right? Aerostats are technically they're still an air node, but it's just a different type of air node. It picks up a signal and it transmits a signal over a long distance. So maybe a lower signal that the air nodes then pick up and transform it into Wi-Fi signal. But that aerostats are the balloons in the sky that you see on the press, where they can go from 300 to 500 feet, and even at 300 feet, they can broadcast a signal for 75 kilometers. So in spanning some of the non-populated area from the traditional legacy system, you have a lot of different types of air nodes, and air nodes vary depending on the density of the population. So in a larger village or city, you may have a more expensive, more powerful air node that can connect lots of people. In smaller villages, you're going to have a smaller air node. Kind of the average that we found on air nodes is that a village of 500 to 700 people can be connected with a very basic air node. Now, when we talk about air nodes, there's also two ways you can participate, and this is all these players are part of the sharing economy. So to keep that in mind as we go through it. So there's two players that in the air node. There's the air node operator and the air node owner. The air node operator is on the ground. The first country that they're about to work on is Zanzibar, so we'll just use that for an example. They have an aerosat that's going up to cover something like 3/4 of the country of Zanzibar, and then they're going to put air nodes in all of the villages, small air nodes, larger air nodes. But the air node operator is the business owner on the ground in Zanzibar, maintaining and operating the air node. Then you can also, if you don't live in Zanzibar, still participate in the sharing economy by being an air node owner. We've covered this in recent videos, how their World Mobile is working on a platform to connect air node operators with air node owners that provide the air nodes and the infrastructure to connect the unconnected in those areas. So like we said, an air node, kind of an average air node, connects between 500 and 700 people, an entire village of 500 to 700 people. The air node in that specific number of people, that size, would be somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. And the air node owner would recoup their money in approximately 18 months. So let's say the useful life of an air node is 5 to 7 years, and we'll even say conservatively it takes 2 years to get the money back. After your initial $5,000 to $10,000 investment is recouped, you're going to have 3 to 5 years of nothing but pure profit before you have to put some money into the device, or upgrade, or the useful life and technology would have to have improvements and all that stuff. Who knows where we'll be in 20 years? But so great opportunity for different players to participate in this sharing economy. The big thing with air node operators too, where other companies have failed in the past, Google, this problem of connecting the 3 billion people that's unconnected is bigger than any one company. Google tried to put hundreds of $1,000,000 into their project and eventually had to pause it because it's just too big for any single entity. So this sharing economy, where you incentivize players to participate, is key. And another reason for that is in a centrally owned company where they own all of the infrastructure, there's no incentive for the community to maintain it. And especially in the poorest of communities, they would scrap it down for metal because it's not theirs, and if I can benefit from it, then I'm going to take it. So having air node operators on the ground taking care of maintaining the equipment, incentivizing them to do so as business owners, and then having air node owners be able to fund that business is a great way to encourage commerce. The next thing is the consumer logs on. They have a cell phone, and when they get into contact with an air node, they can download the app, the World Mobile app. They can purchase credits through the local store, and then make texts and calls and streaming internet service. And each World Mobile customer comes with an Atala Prism ID, okay? So all this data is being funneled through the blockchain. So these consumers, without even knowing it, because they're paying in their local currency, and they're reaching out and making text calls, internet streaming services, but built into there, they're also, with unbeknownst to them really, they are logged onto the blockchain. So they're going to be blockchain users. So let's say that this is successful, and in 3 to 5 years, we have hundreds of millions of people connecting to the internet through World Mobile, which means we have hundreds of millions of people on the blockchain with digital identities. What can we do then? Oh, wow. Utility NFTs, play to earn gaming, metaverses. We can expose them to so much more because their ID is already on the blockchain. So, I mean, if you think way down the road, the World Mobile Token itself too can grow to just a lot more than just a medium of exchange and a way to distribute, you know, rewards to different countries that might have different fiat currencies. Um, so exciting to think about that. Now, the other part, and this is the blockchain part, is the Earth nodes. The Earth nodes are similar to stake pool operators on Cardano. They secure and process transactions on the blockchain. So the air nodes are giving data to the Earth nodes. The consumers are giving data to the Earth nodes. The aerostats, the ether nodes. This Earth node is the brain of the operation, and it's all programmable, and it's all done through smart contracts. They run a protocol called proof of service. So because these are all interconnected and the data is always feeding onto the blockchain, they run a protocol called proof of service. So if this air node is broadcasting this signal and it was consumed by XYZ consumer, the smart contract executes, and the money is dispersed, or the rewards are dispersed as agreed to per the smart contract. So this proof of service protocol automates what Verizon spends billions of dollars doing, and not to mention it allows for exponential growth. So just like you can operate an Earth node, just like a stake pool operator, you can operate an Earth node and participate in this sharing economy and get rewards for processing the transactions, just like Cardano and other proof of stake chains. You can be a staker and stake your World Mobile token with an Earth node and earn rewards for doing so. This channel will operate a full Earth node, and if you like the content, please stake your World Mobile token with our Earth node. Hit the like and the subscribe for when mainnet goes live. And then this is what I think is one of the most important parts. When the consumer pays for services, they're paying in their local currency, and then that money goes to the treasury. The treasury pays the air node operator in their local currency, and then places orders on the open market for World Mobile token. So the treasury is taking that revenue and putting open buy orders on the market, and that is going to cause constant buying pressure, right, for World Mobile token. And then lastly, the treasury disperses the World Mobile token to all the players in the shared economy that are participating in running the telecom infrastructure. So essentially, you have more people being connected, which is going to generate more revenue, which is going to generate more interest, which is going to generate more infrastructure, like the tender of telecom down here with air nodes and air nodes operators, Earth nodes and stakers, different ways you can participate in this sharing economy. That infrastructure is going to connect more people. The more connected people will generate more revenue, and it will just continue to grow. It's cyclical. So that's World Mobile in a nutshell. How they plan to they have a lot of patents and a lot of technology, but they're using traditional infrastructure, unused spectrum, new backhaul technology like Starlink, to broadcast it down to their air nodes. Their air nodes transform it to an internet good for streaming, not just text and calls, but um, more like a Wi-Fi type signal around a smaller geographical area. And the Earth nodes process all of these transactions using smart contracts. You eliminate tons of overhead. It's transparent and all of the good stuff that comes with the blockchain, and the cycle continues. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you understand a little bit more than you did at the beginning of this video about World Mobile Token. If you didn't, if you have questions, if you did or you didn't, leave a comment down below and I will answer each and every question. And let's learn and grow together with World Mobile. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.